All right, well, this is not the weather any of us wanted, but doesn't he look cute in his raincoat? Yes, he does. Yes, he does. You want your hood up? I know you don't really like it, but it'll help to keep you dry. Okay. Yeah. So it's trying to turn into snow. Hi, Kit. Trying to turn into snow, but it had to be done. Fortunately, he's got a really good bladder, and we won't have to do this again until tomorrow morning. Yay!
Wake up with the sun in our eyes. Sally forth, no need for goodbyes. Journey calls, let's roll the dice. Every mile a new surprise.
All right, we're gonna go ahead and get ourselves inside. There's a camper. Try to warm up, make some breakfast. Yeah, like that. Thanks for coming along. So what are we doing to try to stay warm, you might ask? We're doing the best that we can. One of the things is I've got this down alternative throw that really is pretty warm. So we're spending most of our time cuddling underneath of it. Excuse me. I'm going to flip the camera around though and show you what I'm doing inside that helps. It's not perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but it helps. And I'm going to apologize in advance for the mess that everything seems to be at the moment, because we're also in small mode, and that's one of the ways to help keep it warmer. So I've got Reflectix in the front cab windows, and I've got a windshield cover, which I do not have up at the moment because I feel like I'm getting tired of talking about seasonal affective disorder, but I'm going to talk about it again. Part of the issue for me is if I don't get enough daylight, it's really very depressing. So I've got to consider the payoff between staying slightly warmer and staying less depressed. During the day, I'm going for less depressed. Once it starts to get dark, dusky in the evening, I'll go ahead and put that cover back up, and I'll bring my thermal curtains closed completely. And it doesn't make much difference, but you know, I've got the one right there. Actually, it does make a little difference. It actually makes it a little bit darker. So I just push that back a little bit. But I've got the slide in, and did that for a couple of reasons. One of them is that I was concerned when they're predicting 2 to 4 inches of snow today and 1 to 2 inches tomorrow. Part of my concern was having all of the weight of the snow on top of the slide topper, and deciding that probably would not be a very good choice. I don't know if you can see it very well, but here's my 50 states map. All 50 states are completely attached now. So I have slept in all 50 states, and I've RV'd and slept in my RV in 48 of those states. I'm pretty proud of that accomplishment, actually. So what else do I do? Well, I did my Reflectix fan project that I finally finished a week or so ago. So that one's got Reflectix on it. The one in the bedroom has Reflectix on it. And the one in the bathroom, which, look at what's going on with this fan. This is a 2017 Coach. The fan is breaking apart. And I'm just hoping that the cover stays together until I get out of here and I can get this replaced. There was a screen that broke a couple of weeks, about 2 weeks ago, and pieces of the fan shroud are just breaking off. So I'm keeping this one covered up too. This was actually the first one that I made, and I did it because this fan vent lid is comparatively flimsy, and so it helps a lot to, you know, keep the heat out to do that. In the bedroom, I've got all of the blinds down, both the day shades and the night shades, so there's 2 layers there providing additional insulation. Same thing on this side. In my very messy area, my jacket's hanging here, Kit's stuff is hanging over the shower. Yeah. And one of the other things that I did just about 2 weeks ago is I got this little rug runner at Walmart. Super cheap. I'll probably just be throwing it away at the end of the winter because it was like $8. But having something on the floor when I swing my feet out of bed really has helped quite a bit. So we'll see how this goes. So in slide in mode, Kit's bed just stays in the bedroom because there's really no other room for it. And here's the other thing that I just figured out recently, like 2 days ago, was, let me move the table. I finally moved his food and water dish up here to the front corner. I had it in the kitchen. And in the summertime, that's fine because it goes all the way back by where that heat vent is. But in the wintertime, when the heat comes on, I don't want the heat blowing on his water and heating it up. So I move it underneath of the drawers. Well, then I'm constantly kicking it and making a mess. So it finally occurred to me the other day, let's just move it up in the front here where it's out of my way and easier for him. And it is easier for him because oftentimes if he's trying to eat and I'm trying to make food for myself, then we're doing this dance around each other in the kitchen over and over and over. So I guess this is a Camp Host Life update. Composting in the snow. Yeah, that's what we got. What do you say, Kit? Can you say thanks for watching? We'll see you later. Well, it warmed up just a little bit. We got up to 36 degrees, and most of the snow that was on the ground melted off, but then it started snowing pretty heavily again. Woohoo! Well, we haven't heard any snow thunder yet, but it's still in the forecast. And oh, by the way, the afternoon snow forecast was under ½ an inch. Well, we're at about 3/4 of an inch already. And as you can see, there's still plenty coming down. And you just saw that motorhome drive by. I think it's ironic that the model of the motorhome was Sunseeker. I'm a Sunseeker. Yeah, man. It's very, very pretty, and this is an interesting experience for the first time ever to be in an RV in the snow. I wouldn't exactly call this a Four Seasons RV. In fact, I'm wearing socks and UGG-type ankle boot slippers, and with thick rubber sole bottoms, and with my feet on the floor, sitting up, my feet were still getting cold. So there's that much cold air coming up through the floor. I've got the thermostat set at 60. It's still running way more than I really am happy about. Because remember, I'm trying to eke out my propane to last for the 4 days of work that I have coming up starting tomorrow before I can get out of here on, is that Friday morning? Yeah. Looking forward to it.